Good morning, students. We'll continue with the financial intermediaries, IFS chapter 2. In the previous slide, we have studied about the meaning of financial intermediary and what is the role of financial intermediary in the society as well as how they are boosting the economy. So in this slide, some points were missed in the previous video, so that we will cover up here. So functions or role of financial market intermediaries. So that we'll go one by one. Financial intermediaries provide short-term as well as long-term financial needs of the borrowers. So here, financial needs are of many types, right? People do avail loan for various purposes like construction of house, or it could be business expansion or anything. So according to their requirements, either short-term or else long-term loans can be availed by the financial institutions. The question comes, then what is short-term and what is long-term? It is up to 1 year it is considered as short-term, and more than a year it will be considered as long-term funds. Why this term is so important? Because based on the duration, the cost and benefit analysis can be done. Cost is nothing but the rate of interest, what is the risk involved, what is the payment process, repayment process, and how the reduction of loan will be considered, and everything is based upon the duration of the loan. You might have heard the famous investor that is a rich person in the world also, Warren Buffett, what he says. If you want to earn more money, then better you just deposit the amount for the longer period. You should forget that you have invested in some of the cases. That means longer the duration, higher will be the profit, and short, because there is no shortcut for success. So the same formula applies for your investment strategies also. So the longer the duration, higher the profit you can get. Next one is it provides liquidity. Okay, so what is the term meaning liquidity? It is easy convertibility of your investments into cash. I have 5 acres of land. I have a complex, or else I have any other infrastructural assets as well as other buildings, but can you use the same immediately for your cash requirements? Because as you know, in the business also you do require working capital as well as fixed capital. So fixed capital is the one wherein it cannot be easily converted into cash, like land, building, machinery, etc. But whereas it is working capital, it is absolutely in the form of cash, or like those closed assets which can be converted into cash easily. Okay, so now the financial intermediaries are giving you the option based upon various schemes and incentives, wherein investor can select about the liquidity, like what is the term, either it is for short term, medium term, or else long term. So that is one point. And not only that, this circulation of money will be in process continuously. Already we have discussed, students, that is the main purpose of financial intermediaries is to, in single line if I want to say, that is the savings of the customers or savings of the people will be channelized into the economy through various funds which are available in front of them. Savings are converted into investment, and the same will be used for the lending of loan purposes. Here the deposits has to get the interest, and interest has to be received by these financial intermediaries in the form of interest through loans. Okay, so in all this way there is a money in circulation always. Money is not kept idle. So that is what is the main function of financial intermediaries. So then it comes advice to borrowers. Not only that, advice to borrowers as well as the investors also. You might have heard about the the professionals such as legal advisors. Similarly, here it is financial advisors, brokers, there are commission agents, there are financial advisors, merchant bankers, investment bankers who will purely give you a financial suggestions rather than giving financial transaction work. So they are not into this financial transactions directly, but they are indirectly helping, they are indirectly boosting the economy to get more funds from the borrowers as well as investors. So that type of a service is being given by financial intermediaries. Then it comes role of financial intermediaries in setting up new units. Always we know, students, finance is a lifeblood of each and every business. Whatever knowledge you have, whatever capacities you have, but without money, that is of no use. So now, how to accumulate the funds for a new business expansion or any other diversification activities which you have planned already. So that is being backed up by the assistance which is given by the financial intermediaries. Of course, it is not free of cost, but still in times of emergency, when you need this money, absolutely you can get it from banks, financial institutions, or else any other mode of financial intermediaries, which gives you a sense of self-reliance. Okay, so then even in case of infrastructural facilities also, these financial intermediaries are helping. So what is that infrastructural facilities? Is nothing but the developmental activities which has to be taken place in case of individuals, business unit, or else in the society. Okay. So all these infrastructural facilities can be enhanced with the help of financial intermediaries. Just to take an example, students, there are many schemes, industrial schemes, industrial developmental schemes, loans and advances which are being disbursed by the central government. And have you ever imagined how those things are being targeted as well as channelized, and they will see to it that it reaches to the right hands. So it's a very beautiful process wherein from the central government the schemes has to be disbursed in stepwise manner. It has to reach to the last person, that is nothing but the beneficiaries. And now you take an example of mudra loans, or you can take an examples of any other schemes like Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, for especially for girl child assistance, monetary assistance, or else take an example of simple LPG subsidies. Okay, all the things are being credited to the direct beneficiaries account. How is this possible? Don't you think? This is again a financial functions of financial intermediaries, wherein they are smoothing as well as they are giving the transparency to the system of all these disbursement of financial assistance. Yeah. So nobody can cheat, no middleman, no commission. So they will see to, of course, in spite of all these things, there might be corruption, but taking this point apart, but the purpose of financial intermediaries will be served. And not only this, students, even you might have heard about financial inclusion. For example, the motto behind Jan Dhan Yojana says the same. Okay, I'm very much sure you might have heard this. Jan Dhan Yojana is a central government program wherein they want to see to it that all individuals of the country should come to the mainstream of banking, so that each of their savings, each of their financial transactions they can account for. So there is no black money or else there is no unaccounted money, we can say, instead of black money, unaccounted money in the society. So they are answerable for each of the paisa whatever they have. Okay, so if they can't answer, then absolutely then the question comes about the reliability. So this financial inclusion all is a part of a big view, that is wherein we want to see India as an emerging country with all digitalization as well as financial inclusion apart. So the next comes, it provides finance for developmental activities. So developmental activities could be in terms of, with reference to the business organization, or else even in terms of development of the society. For both, finance is required, and that is being given by whom? Again, various types of financial intermediaries. You might be aware of, even banks can take loans from another bank, which we call it as call rate. Okay, call rate or call money at very short notice. State governments are taking the loans from the central government or else even RBI. So that is, again, there are developmental banks which are functioning behind all these things. IDBI again is an example for the same type of finance. So a person, a mudra, again is a kind of developmental activities wherein the loans are given for only industrialists, small entrepreneurs. Again, there are various types, Shishu, Kiran, Shishu, Tarun Yojanas, wherein based upon the volume of business as well as their area of operation, a project has to be analyzed and the money will be given to the needy people. The next and the last point is helps in generation of employment opportunities. Without any doubt, we have to agree, banking, insurance, NBFCs, they are playing a very vital role in creation of employment opportunities. More number of graduates, more number of specialist officers, and the management hierarchy from top level to the ground level, all those people has to be imbibed in this system, because it's a hand-to-hand situation wherein all the peoples are involved in the process of making financial intermediaries more successful. So obviously there are private banks, public banks, okay, as well as insurance also. Each and every corner of intermediaries involves both government as well as private participation. Then absolutely there is more of employment opportunities which is being raised. The next is, so with this, students, we have made an attempt to give you a brief introduction of the functions of financial intermediaries. So let's move on to the first stock exchange was established in London in 1770, and afterwards stock exchanges were established in France, Germany and USA in 1856. So this is origin of stock exchanges in the world. So let's move ahead with the definition of stock exchange. According to K.L. Garg, a stock exchange is an association of persons engaged in buying and selling of shares, stocks, debentures. It's not bonds, students. Please make a correction here. It is bonds. For the public on commission and are guided by certain rules and usages. So ultimately, what has been traded? These are the association of persons engaged in buying and selling of all these things. What are they? Shares, stocks, debentures and bonds for the public on commission basis and are guided by certain rules and usages. And one more definition you can see, that is according to Hastings, stock exchange or securities market comprises all the places where buyers and sellers of stocks and bonds or other representatives undertake transactions involving the sale of securities. So it has been half done here. So stock exchanges, according to Hastings, is a place where, again almost same, the buyers and sellers of stocks and bonds or their representatives undertake the transactions involving the sale of authorities. So in general, it is buying and selling of those securities in the stock market. Okay. So the origin of stock exchange as we have already discussed, in the world it is started first in London, that is in 1770. In India, it is established in 1875 and it is called as Bombay Stock Exchange. Okay, and later on the Stock Exchange of Calcutta, Chennai were started in 1908 and Delhi Stock Exchange in 1947. Please make a note of this. Stock exchange has specific authority to regulate the market. There are some specific rules and regulations regarding the stock exchange, like instruments or products of share market are shares, debentures, bonds, etc. of listed public limited companies which are traded in the market. So it is organized, disciplined, and there are some regulatory authorities who are monitoring the operations of stock exchange. They are nothing but SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India, which monitors, regulates, and prescribes some restrictions towards each one of the players in the market, either money market or else capital market. So that is issue of shares, debentures, bond. There is a procedure. There are many documentation has to be followed by the companies. They have to be listed. So in separate classes we can see about how the shares are issued, what are the procedures to be followed as per the instruction of SEBI. So it is very much well organized. Each one of the players, they have a limitations, just to see to it that nobody will be dominated by the players of stock exchange. Either it could be commission agents, brokers, or else companies regarding dividends and everything. There is a clear-cut instructions given by the SEBI. The next feature is secondary market. It is the secondary market for financial instruments such as shares, bonds, securities are exchanged in products. So if it is called a secondary market, there has to be one primary market, right? So primary market is nothing but wherein the new type of shares will be issued for the first time. Okay, it is also called as initial public offer. So here it is already traded securities will be bought and sold in this type of markets. That's why we call it as secondary market. Okay, so these shares are already there in the market which are being frequently bought and sold. Next one is the fluctuation of price. In the stock market, the prices of commodities are always fluctuating, which is depending on the demand and supply factor, which is more important, students. It is an open market where the price mechanism acts for determining the price for such financial instruments. What does it mean? Fluctuation of price. Always the company share price is fluctuating. That's why we call share market as a gambling. There is all chances that there will be rise in the share prices based on the company's demand and all the cost benefit analysis, and at the same time it may go down also if there is unhealthy competition and other factors which are affecting the company's growth. So investors should be ready for both the things. So then how this is going to be determined in the stock market? It is purely based on demand for the securities of the organization and business. So after that they fix the prices of the same accordingly, and the securities in most demand are priced higher than the others. We know the law of demand, higher the demand, higher the price. So the same applies to the company shares also. If there is more demand for the company shares, and obviously the prices of those shares will be high. So 30 years back, I think the Infosys company share, when they have initially started, the share price will be very much minimum. And now if you see the share price of the company, it will be absolutely 5 to 10 times double than what they had earlier. So whoever had purchased the shares of this company in initial days would have become crore-pratis by this time. And on the contrary, you might have seen there are so many stock investors who have ended their life just because of the sharp fall in the prices, and their investment strategy was not good. So it should be like, by analyzing the market, the ups and downs we have to know, and evenly we have to allocate the investment, or else our savings should be invested evenly to offset this type of fluctuations in the stock market. So that will be a wise decision. So always the features of stock exchanges, there is a fluctuation of price. Then the next one is certain rules and regulations. As we have already discussed, SEBI is regulating the stock market with various rules and regulations. If someone wants to trade in the stock exchange, they must obey the certain rules and regulations, because these rules and regulations are meant for both buyers and sellers, that is for companies as well as for the investors. Certain procedures has to be followed. Just to say a couple of things from the company side, there is one minimum subscription offer condition. So if the company does not get the applications of 90% of the face value, then they cannot go further. Their procedure has to be stopped there itself. And there are various players such as commission agents, brokers, underwriters, again, who are being benefited with the rules and regulations of the SEBI. So even regarding the investor also, the dividend percentages, and regarding the statements, financial statements which can be obtained by the company, are very much helpful to the investors, so that they can see the financial statements and they can take a decision. There has to be transparency, there has to be reliability of statements, and there has to be fair trading in the market, so that all the players, either company, commission agents, underwriters, brokers, and investors, they are benefited mutually. Okay, so this is what is the rules and regulation policy of the stock market. Then the next feature says specific location. Stock exchanges are located in certain place. In the news you might have seen, always there are down the line, the stop, there is a triangle which shows down arrow mark as well as upward arrow mark, wherein it is called as, it is in the sometimes it is in the blue line and sometimes it is in the red line. What is that? That is nothing but the share prices which will be shown on the bottom of the TV or else the channel. So what do you mean by that? They are called as blue chip companies, that is top rated companies. Okay, so there are Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange which is in Mumbai, and National Stock Exchange which is located in Delhi. Even though they have a particular place, infrastructure like building and official activities are performed there, there are stockbrokers who are speculating about the share prices to be shoot up or down. So all these activities are performed in the building, but the condition is the investors need not to go to the place and for the buying and selling of securities or other products, because it is through online system, wherein already we have discussed, one can easily buy and sell the securities through demat account. Okay, please remember students, demat procedure we can study soon. Dematerialized account, they can purchase and sell the securities. So all the working of stock exchanges is conducted and controlled through computers and electronic system. So anywhere, anytime, even with the electronic devices, whatever you have through mobile, you can purchase and sell of the securities based upon the rising prices or else falling of the prices of the securities. The general tendency is what? Whenever the share prices are down, we will purchase and we will tend to sell the securities at a higher prices. So that is what is the feature of specific location. Then the next feature says membership. How we can become a member of stock exchange. To become a member of stock exchange, one must have to buy the shares, for which they have to pay certain fees. Okay, and beside this he has to sign an agreement. That will be a third condition, students. One is you have to buy the shares through some fees, and you have to sign an agreement to follow the rules and regulations of stock exchange. There are many career opportunities nowadays in this stock market. Also, you can act as a stockbroker or else financial advisor, because stock market is the one wherein a common man, for a common man it is very difficult to understand the ups and downs, because there are many people who are earning money through this investment process only, for which a detailed analytical study has to be done about the stock market, the company's profile. There are various things which are involved here. So through membership you can be an active member of stock market and you can be benefited with that. So transactions through broker. So in the stock market, no individual is permitted to transact directly. So one must have to do it through brokers of the stock exchange. They are nothing but the authorized dealers of the stock exchange. And the nature of transaction, how this transaction will take place. So either it is in cash or on credit. So in the case of cash transaction, the payment is done within 3 to 4 days. We call it as the cycles. In the phase of credit transaction, the advance agreement of the payment is made within 15 or 30 days. So this nature of transaction, that is settlement procedure, in the next slides we are going to study in detail. So that is what is the features of stock exchange, students. So in the next class we will study with functions or services of stock exchange in detail. Thank you.